by 2 bow siders and then a stroke sider, depending on the power and technique in the boat. So here's the lineup for the women's 4A final. It's Great Britain, Poland, Romania, Russia, Germany and the Netherlands. So here, the British lineup in lane 1. Lots of support from these athletes here in the crowd. We've got Sarah Parfitt there in the bow seat, Cara McMurtry, Emily Ashford and Jo Ratton in the stroke seat. Poland here, Olga Mikhailkiewicz, Joanna Dittman, Monika Charbel and Maria Wierzbowska. And here the Romanians, Madalena Kayus, Juliana Buhos, Madalena Gabriela Cazu and Roxana Parascanu. Lane 4 is the lineup from Russia, so the stroke woman closest to you, that's Elena Oryabinskaya. Behind her, Ekaterina Potapova, Anastasia Tikhanova and Ekaterina Sevastyanova. And here, view of the German stroke woman, Alexandra Hofgen, backing her up in the 3 seat, Ida Kreuzer, Frauke Hacker in the 2 seat, and in the bows, Sophie Oksha. Making up this final, it's the Dutch 4, Kirsten Wielaert stroking, and then it's Marleen Verberg, Vileka Vossen and Hermiente Drenth.
Maria Wierzbowska, stroke of the Polish crew.
Great Britain.
You can hear the starter just do the call over, which is a signal for all the crews just to square their blades in the water, get ready to
Germany,
race.
the Netherlands, attention.
Red light. And there they're off. So these crews building up the rating close to 50 strokes a minute. The Romanians the highest at the moment at 47 strokes a minute. We ride with the Russians, favourites for this race. And Elena Oryabinskaya in the stroke seats. And it's the Russian bows out in front. Lane 4. These crews just settle down. We're getting a look there at all the crews. Alex Hofgren in the stroke of the German crew. But it's Russia out in front.
Romania also making a good job of the start here. Here's the Romanian crew, stroked by Roxana Parascanu. High rating crew up at 42 strokes a minute. They took part in the Under-23 World Championships just a week ago, 3 of these from the Romanian crew, and they've certainly recovered from that as they've just snuck a lead ahead of Russia here in this final. Polish 4 here, Maria Wierzbowska.
Yeah, we saw her sister just in the women's pairs B final early this morning, but essentially the Polish crew took silver behind the Russians at the World Championships last year in Sarasota. And, well, you'd pick Russia and Poland to be the 1-2 in this race. Russians beat the Poland in the heat. Romania won the other heat to qualify direct for this final. And they are out in front at the moment.
And Great Britain coming through that first timing marker in 2nd place behind the Romanian crew, up there in lane 1.
Yeah, everyone's really close up except the Germans, who qualified 2nd behind the Romanians in the heat. Not quite as quick a time as the first heat where Russia and Poland dominated, but Germany, a little surprisingly off the back, and the Poles over there in lane 2 as well. A little surprised to see them that far back. British having a great row. You just saw a look from Jo Ratton, the British stroke woman there, 26 years of age, the Leander Club oarswoman. Must be pleased with her work in this first quarter.
Yeah, I think they're going to be happy with that. It's going to be a really close fight here. the Dutch crew just moving through now into second place, vying with the Russian crew behind Romania. Here's a Dutch bowwoman.
Yeah, the Dutch bowwoman, Hermione Drent from the Okeanos Club, 24 years of age. British were fast out in the heat, and they didn't quite maintain that pace. Had to go through the repechage yesterday to qualify for the final. I wonder how much that would have taken out of them. They're just moving back in the field at the moment as Romania move out in the lead ahead of the Russians. I thought this might be Russia's best chance of a gold medal at these championships as they come up to halfway, but at the moment it's Romania dominating. We've seen them win the women's pairs already. Are they going to take the women's fours too?
Yeah, they potentially could here, and the Poles have just moved up in the last 500 metres. They're just closing in on Russia. Great Britain slipping back into 5th place here. Romania's still leading, and the Dutch looking very strong here on the near side.
Yeah, great smooth rowing from the Dutch crew closest to you, stroked by Kirsten Wielaert, the experienced 29-year-old from the Neerhaus Club in Amsterdam. And then two women, Verburg and Vossen from the Triton Club in the centre of that Dutch boat. Hermione Drent, we've already seen her from the Okeanos Club. Really smooth style. And the flow that boat is taking them up is fantastic. And there's the Romanian just in the stroke seat. Roxana Pascanaru, the woman from the little hamlet of Pagana. She started rowing in 2010. Loved it in 3 months. She'd never heard of the sport before they took her out of the hamlet and into that Romanian women's setup, and now she's got a silver medal in the under-23s European champion last year in that Romanian four that won. So that's a lot of medals for a 21-year-old, and she's got so much maturity in a race that's this tight and this close.
Yeah, they're a young crew, aren't they, these Romanians? Just 19 years of age, 21, 20, 23 in that crew, against the relative experience of the Russians, and the Russians hanging on there to second place.
Interesting move made by the Poles, because the Dutch were in that medal position, and the Poles are now just battling through. They really do like to come strong in this third quarter, and led by Maria Wierzbowska, the Krakow stroke woman of the Polish four. They are now just trading punches with the Dutch. Britain, I think, out of medal contention with 500 metres to go. Germany trying to trade places with the British and get on to that medal fight. There's the Dutch, and they're losing ground to the Poles. It's going to be the bronze, silver and gold medalists, most likely from this Russian crew, the Romanian crew and the Polish crew. Pick any of those. Russia hitting the front now.
Yeah, Russia's hit the front for the first time, but the Poles, we saw such a strong finish from them in the heat. They had the fastest finish of any four in the heats earlier in the regatta. But Russia now challenging Romania, taking first spot from them. They're sitting a metre ahead of the Romanians. But what have the Polish got to offer in these final stages?
Head down from Wierzbowska. She's not looking. The three women in the Polish boat, Monika Chabel, just trying to provide the stability and power to take that boat through back to the Russians and the Romanians. But Russia are now challenged again. Romania going head-to-head. She doesn't want to give up her European gold medal, does Roxana Pascanaru, the stroke of the Romanian crew. But at the moment, in her private battle with Elena Orubienskaya, the 24-year-old Russian stroke woman, she's coming off second best.
Yeah, the Russians now up at 42 strokes a minute, and the Romanians have responded to that 43 strokes, but Russia are moving away from them. Boat speed's just flying.
Well, I thought this could be Russia's best chance of a gold medal at the European Championships, and surely the Russians, like they won the under-23 women's four, they're going to win the European women's four as well. And it just shows the strength of Russian women's rowing. Russia take the gold medal. Romania hang on for silver from the Polish charge. Britain did manage to come through in fourth ahead of the fading Dutch and Germans.
What a victory for this Russian four. Such a strong finish from them. Real excitement from the stroke women there. The three women, Ekaterina Potapova just fist in the air there.
Yeah, they rode a really mature race, those Russians, didn't they? Just came through, let the Romanians lead, but they were confident of their pace in the middle of the course.
Romanians threw everything at it, but just couldn't hold off that charge from Russia in the final stages. Poland going to come away with a bronze medal.
Yeah. There's some replays We did see the Russians off the start. Arabinskaya taking a crew off, looks cool and calm there. She maintained that coolness all the way down the course, even under pressure from the Romanians who led through the middle, and this is the charge for the line. You see the Romanians going head-to-head with the Poles, but Russia predominated, hands go in the air. You forget you're tired at that moment, don't you?
Yeah, pure elation from the Russians crossing the line. So confirmation here. Gold for Russia, silver for Romania, bronze for Poland. Great Britain